everyone, and welcome to the WhotKnot studio. My name is Kathy, and today I am going to be working on this little journal that I have created from a box that had some biscuits in it. So today I'm going to do a little bit of work on the front. I have been working on this over the past week. I've been making all the signatures, which I'll show you in just a minute. But the first thing that I thought I would do is I want to cover the inside here. But before I do, I want to put anything on the front here that needs to have brads and things that go through, so that when I've put the inside in, I can cover it all up. So, all right. So what I've done, just to give me an idea, I have created this piece of fabric which I've layered with laces and some tulle. I've printed off a picture that I quite liked, and the main reason I did that is so that I could work out positioning. I'm just going to tuck this underneath that edge to keep it nice and straight. Bring you in a little bit. There we go. So yeah, so I just wanted to make this so that I can work out roughly where I want. I think that'll have to go off to the side. I might have to glue those down once I'm attaching this, so that that's got plenty of space there, because I just want to put a little piece of paper in there with the lady's name on it that is purchasing this journal. So what I'm going to do now is get one of my fabric pens, and these are the friction pens, so they disappear if you apply heat, but I can work out, so I think roughly there is where I'm heading to with that. So I'll just put some little dots there so I know where to make the holes. All right, I'm going to move that out the way because I need to make sure I'm getting this straight. Just eyeball that. Yep, that looks pretty good. I've had a bit of preparation time this morning because I was all ready to film, and old mate next door decided to mow his lawn. So while I waited for him to finish that, I have been prepping a few things, so that worked out pretty good in the end. So I'm just going to poke some holes in there, in the spots that I want them to be. Get that through to the back. I will say that after I made this cover with you guys, I ended up cutting an extra piece of card and putting it on the inside there, just so that it's going to be level when I put the, and I've got the front door open with the wire screen shut. So not only can Dobby hear the poster, he can see him, which, yeah. So I've got my two little holes there now, and what I like to do is, just to make sure this is going to be secure, just along that little lip, I like to just run a little bit of glue as well. So I'll just run that glue and then position it, and then I'll put the brads through. I've had this glue upside down so that I wouldn't have to wait for it to run everywhere, and now it's got a life of its own. Don't want to put too much on. Don't want it to ooze out the edges. I need to make sure I've got a little bit of glue just in there, which I need to get off because I don't want that to stick to the fabric. All right, I think we're back in business here. It's a messy business. I'm just going to put that over my pink dots that I've made. Just give it a bit of a press down. I'll just give it a minute to grab a hold, and before I start fiddling around trying to put the brads through. But I've got my piece of card here. This is some cardstock, and this is what I am planning to line the inside of the book with, because it'll go with my colour scheme that I've got going on. And I'll just show you my problem that I've got. Oh, there goes the sun. The sun will be going in and out because we're getting to that time of year where it doesn't know what it's doing. So I've made all my signatures. I made 4 signatures. Where are we? That's 4 signatures. That's 3 of them. And there's the 4th one. Oof. Let's just grab it. Oof. There we go. It's under the edge of my timber. So I've got 4 signatures, and my problem is that that's too many. It's too full. So I think I'm going to have to cull one of the signatures, unfortunately. Having trouble getting there. So yeah, I've been busy with them, and I like all the signatures, so now I'm having the dilemma of deciding which one's got to go. So yeah, it's typical, get carried away with these things. Anyway, back to the business here. So I've got my brads here ready to go, and hopefully they'll go through the hole that I've made with no problem. If I've lined it all up, I might just double check. Where's my tool here? Just make sure I've got that hole lined up. Where are we? I might have to recreate the hole. Oh yeah, there it is. Alright, so there's the first one. So I'll put my brad through. Got my little brads ready to go here. There's one. And push the other one through. Oof. There we go. And that's 2. So once they're in place, I'll flip it over and I'll get the back of them, which is going to be hard to do because they haven't come all the way through. I might have to cut that with the scissors a little bit. Because this has got the quilting on it, it makes it a bit thick, but I do want to at least push them over a little bit so that they've grabbed, and then I'll put some glue on the back of them to hold everything in place. So I'll just get down to the business of that. You can just see it poking up there. And I don't need it to do, there we go, got him. Push the other side down, got him. Just makes it nice and secure. I don't want it falling off or anything, so that brad hasn't gone through completely. I might have to take that out and redo it. I think it bent. Hopefully I'm on camera. There we go, make the hole a bit better. Get that in the hole. There it is. So they need to make the posts on these just a tiny bit longer, I think, but generally you'd just be going through one layer of paper or cardboard. But as I said, this has got the cardboard, and then it's got the wadding, and then it's got the material, so it's quite thick. But we'll make it work. There we go. There's that bit. There we go. just use the scissors. I don't want to push it with my fingers because it might cut me a bit sharp. I should get my pliers out and do it properly, but we'll be right. There we go. Perfect. Got there in the end. There we go. And that's what it looks like at the front. And I'll slide a bit of card in there and do a bit of fancy writing on it. So there's a little bit of glue sticking out there. I don't like that. Got to get that off. There we go. And I think that's the only thing that I'm going to stick on the front. I did have an idea to put another brad with a dangly, but then I've changed my mind. I've gathered a few bits and pieces in this little container, and I'm thinking that I'm going to hang something like this off the edge here. I was going to hang it off the front there, but I changed my mind. I thought there was enough going on the front. So now we have to line this front and the back. So all that I'm going to do is cut these pieces to size and glue them down is how it's going to go. So let me see where I've got a pencil so that I can mark where I need to go. So I like it to be just shy of the outside edge of the book. So we'll go to there and to there. And I'll just get my ruler. I've tried to clear up my desk. Had a big clean up. Yes, well, not what's today? Monday. No, yesterday I went and saw Mum, and the day before that I had a big clean up, getting ready to do the video, so that I wouldn't have a whole heap of stuff on my desk, because when I'm working on the signatures, things get real. Like, it's a mess. I'm not going to lie, it's an absolute mess. So I thought I'm just going to get that all cleared up now so that I can work on the front. I'm just going to cut that and across the bottom as well. I haven't pressed really hard because I don't want to cut through onto my table, but as long as it's kind of sort of where we want it to be. I should have my quilting ruler so that I can get all my things lined up properly. I'll just grab my quilting ruler. Won't be a second. Okay, and I'm back. Got my quilting ruler. I like the quilting ruler because I can see through it and I can just make sure everything's lined up. And then I won't be cutting crooked lines, which is definitely something that I could potentially do. I'll cut that across there. Just pressing lightly. Alright, so we've got that. This has got some writing on it, so I'm just going to make sure that's up the right way. And basically just double check I've got that size nice. Yep, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to use fabric glue on sticking this down because that's fabric around the edges and I want to make sure it sticks really well. So I'll just get some glue on there. This piece of paper is out of one of those 12 by 12 books, and it's actually slightly thicker cardstock, I would say. It's not cardboard, but it's a thicker style of card. And what this glue sets up pretty quickly, but what you could do is put it underneath a book or something to make sure it's grabbed everywhere that it needs to. I like to put a good amount of glue on it. So it's got all the opportunity to stick nicely. But yes, I popped in to see Mum yesterday and we had a nice cuppa and a chat and everything. her little dog is off to have its hair cut today. And I don't know what Annie, that's my mum's dog, Annie had rolled in. She's a Maltese Shih Tzu. But she stunk. So she needed a bath. But she's as cute as anything and a little fluff ball and super, super friendly. So I'm just pushing that down. Give it a good chance to stick all over. There we go. And then we'll do the other side. I'm trying to consolidate all my little bits and pieces into this container so that I'm not searching for everything later on, which is definitely a problem for me. All right, let's do this other side. And what I've got for the middle, I've got a piece of linen. That's like from a flour sack, and I thought that I would just use that down the middle once I've got these in place, because I like to put the fabric on that centerpiece. You can see through that ever so slightly, but it won't matter because once I have all these signatures in, that'll cover all that up and you won't see that. Oh, my lady fell out the front up there. I'll just stick her back in because I don't want to lose her. Okay, now I'll do this side. Hopefully that'll be okay. That'll be fine. All right, let's do this side. So, line this up. To about there. And to about there. All right. Just move that out the way for a second. I'm going to use that ruler, put that up there. And once you've got the inside done, you can basically start decorating the front. Now I can't see my little lines I just did. Where are they? Is that one? Oh my gosh. I'm hopeless. Oh, there it is. I see it. I'm hopeless. All right. I'm just going to trim that along there. Need to move up a bit. And I'm pretty sure that's the line. So, cut that along there. Let's see if that's cut through. I'm only pressing lightly because I don't want to gouge into my desk too much. Pressing way too lightly, apparently. There we go. Alright, that's out of the way. We're finished with that now. And now I'm just going to... I've got a little bit of paper sticking out there. It won't matter, you won't see it, but I just have to cut that off. Alright, just make sure I've got this up the right way before I go crazy gluing everything down. Just check. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. So I'll put some glue on here. And we'll get this glued down. I hope you're all well. I hope you're having some lovely crafting time. I've been pretty busy with one thing and another, because as I've said to you in the past, I've had a few issues with my puppy dogs lately, so I've been back and forth to the vet, thank goodness Dobby had the last of his stitches out yesterday. So he's done. Rusty's now done, so he's all sorted out. He's well healed now from his surgery. Buddy has not been well, so I've had him off. He's just had some blood tests last week, and he had a lung x-ray, and they've found out he's got a lung infection somehow or another. I'm not sure how old he is, because we got him as a pet rescue, and when we got him, they couldn't decide whether he was 5 or 7, and we've had him for 10 years. So he's getting older, and these are kinds of problems that happen. So, yeah, so that's been a bit of a worry, but he's on some medication, some steroid medication, that seems to be working quite well for him. So he'd lost a lot of weight recently, and I was getting a bit worried about that. But with the steroid tablets that he's on, he's eating like, I can't even remember him eating so much. So, yeah, hopefully he'll put on a little bit of weight. He only weighs 3.5 kilos, so he's pretty tiny. Just going to rip that about there. I think it's a bit wide, so I'm just going to take that off there. There we go. Take that off. Might use that little piece that I've just torn off for something else. But I think that will go pretty well there. I like the rough edges, so I'm happy to have some rough edges showing, but I think I'll need to take the length off about there. As you can see, as I usually do, I'm measuring everything. Not, but that's the way I roll. All right, so we've got this nice little piece of fabric now, and my plan is to glue that in place like so. So back to the fabric glue. I'm wondering whether I should, no, I don't think I will. I was thinking maybe I should level that out, but I think it's going to be thick enough for everything to go through, so I think I'll just leave that. I'm going to get some good amount of glue on this. Ugh. I've nearly used up this whole container of glue. It's on its last legs. Oh, I think I've got a spare one there. I have to check my stash. But, yeah, I'll have to drag that out pretty soon, I think. I actually said to my husband the other day, I don't think it's going to be too long before I'm back in the pool. I've actually got a summer dress on today. I wore a summer dress on the weekend. My husband and I went out for lunch, and I wore a summer dress. And I said to him, I think I've jumped the gun. I feel cold. I think I've put the summer dress on too soon. But today, much nicer. Actually, when I went to Mum's yesterday, I had a jumper on. So, yeah. It's one of those times of the year where you're just not sure. Although my hubby said to me the other day that he heard on the radio that our summer up here in Queensland is supposed to be the wettest summer on record. So that is not music to my ears, I can tell you that. All right, let's get this piece of fabric in place. Make sure I've got it even. Push it down nicely, and I need my, which I haven't seen, oh yeah, there it is, this bone, and I'll just push it into that dip there so that when the book can shut and open, it's got plenty of swing area. All right. So that's how it's looking. Pretty good. I don't think I'm going to put, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to put pockets or anything on the front there, only because I'm worried about adding much more thickness. I'll show you what I mean about these signatures. So I'll just bring them over. So these are the signatures. And yeah, so they'd have to sort of sit like that. I mean, yeah. And so I think we're going to have to lose one of these signatures. I'll show you how it looks with one less signature. Much better. So I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to have to happen, unfortunately. But what I thought I might do is go through each signature and just pull out the bits of each one that I like, and like I could slot them in somewhere. I don't know. But I think I'll keep that one and that one. This one's a bit plainer, so maybe that one, maybe this. Oh no, that's got that. Yeah, I might pull that one because that one's got a bit of thickness to it. I like this one to be the front signature. So I think that it'll probably go, actually that might be nice as the front signature because it's got the flip. So it might go like so. Let me see. I think that I think I'm definitely going to have to go with the 3 signatures because, yeah, I think that'll be better. Much better. But what I'll do, Kay, if you're watching, is I will string this together. I'll make it into a little mini journal and I'll put it with this when I send it to you so that you've got a little mini one. You could put that in your handbag or something. But, yeah, I'll give you a quick little flip through it. So I've got like a few little tucks and I've done quite a bit of sewing and all sorts of things in here. All the pretty papers. There's still plenty of room for journaling if you want to. That's a nice paper pocket, and I've put a tag in that. Some music paper. I've done some little watercolour embellishments. I love these little beads and things. So, I mean, I've got them in the other signatures too, so it's not like it's only in this one, but yeah, I'll string this together and put it with the journal since it was originally supposed to go in it. But yeah, I don't think it's going to fit. And this journal's got a fairly wide spine on it too, so yeah. Anyway, so that's what we've got there. So I thought I would show you what my thoughts are for the front of the journal and the sides. Actually, I was just thinking I had this for the back. I should have put that on before I wonder if I could peel that up a little bit. I should have put that on before I glued that down. No, that's not going to happen. So I'd like to put this on the back, but that's, I can easily do it separately. I'd like to put that on the back like so. Yeah, I did think that I was going to do that. Let me see. I could definitely pull that up. This is what happens when you're making journals though, don't you find? Like you're back and forth, back and forth. I'm forever doing this sort of thing. Alright, I'm going to pull it up just around the edges. And then I'm asking for trouble, aren't I? Just so I can tuck it in and then I'll glue it back down again. Ugh.
Swept by current, swallowed by a wave. Take heed, they'll say, no, no, no need to get out. Just stay on a lovely holiday.
the edges up, enough to stick this fabric underneath. Rookie error right there, because I don't want to put glue on the back of it. I want to be able to just pull the, now which is the right and the wrong side? There we go, that goes that way. So I don't want to have glue on it, so that's why I want to stick it underneath. But I just sped that bit up because A, painful watching me do that, and B, the dogs started barking again because the delivery guy came. Nobody is allowed to visit our house. Nobody. Although I will say the other week I took a fall and my brother had to come, and he was like, shall I just come straight in and pick you up? Like, what's going to happen with the dogs? And I said, oh, they'll be fine. They were fine. Alright, I'm just going to trim that little bit. Just a little bit. I've been thinking about how I was going to do this all week, so I don't know why I didn't do it the way I've been thinking about it, but I'll keep that because that'll be good for tags and things. So I'm going to fold that into there, like that. Once I've got this all stuck down, I'll glue that paper back down again and it'll be as good as gold. This is how you fix things when you're crafting. You think on the fly and you just fix stuff. And it all works out in the end. And everybody makes mistakes, or sometimes actually they turn out to be happy accidents, but it just makes you think outside the square, which isn't a bad thing. I'll trim that across there. So I haven't got too much on this week. I think Susan and I made some tentative arrangements to go to the op shop on Thursday. Today is Tuesday, so that might happen, but we're both notorious for changing plans at the last minute, deciding that we don't want to do stuff, and she's okay with that and I'm okay with that too. So sometimes you just wake up in the morning and just don't feel like it. See, that looks much better, and then I'll do that, pull that across as well. So then, because the glue sometimes shows through lacy bits, that's why I don't want to put it on the back of it, because this is quite thin lace and then you'll be able to see the glue, and no, I don't like that. So this was a way around it. I will be gluing some more lace on the back, but I will be placing the glue strategically so that you can't see it. I've been enjoying watching Waste Some Time with Maggie. I think she's a very creative lady. I haven't really been watching many of the other podcasts though. I've been listening to some podcasts doing on Spotify, because that's just, that puts me into that mindless space so that I can concentrate on what I'm crafting on or whatever. So I have been listening to some true crime, which is what I like to listen to. I found a couple of good podcasts, so I've churned through those. If anybody's got any true crime recommendations, I'm all ears. I do like them. But the only, as I said, the only other podcast that I've actually watched recently is Maggie's. I've kept up to date with Maggie's, so I need to get back on to seeing what everybody else is up to. There we go. There we go. And then I'll glue that back down, and that sits nicely like that. That's better. So let's get the glue back on there. Dobby's going off his chops. He's certainly feeling a lot better. He was a bit quiet. My hubby said to me he's a bit quiet on the weekend, but I think he was just well and truly over his whole foot situation. I think the stitches were itching him and he had to wear his cone of shame so that he wouldn't chew on his foot and everything, and he didn't like that. And then when I went to the vet, the lady went to take him to take the stitches out, he was growling and carrying on at her. Mind you, yesterday when I went to see Mum, he was curled up like a baby in her arm for the whole time, sleeping. So, yeah, I think he's had enough of that foot problem, and hopefully they've fixed it. We'll have to wait and see. Last little bit here. But my son should be arriving this coming weekend. He's coming to stay with us for a while. And Mill and Beck have rebooked their holiday for the end of October. So normally it's just me and my husband. And normally just me when my husband's working away, which he does do most weeks. He works through the week and then he's home on the weekends. So I'm going to go from just me and the dogs to a house full of people, and that will be interesting. I love them all, and I'm sure we'll have a great time. There we go. All good. So that's the back, and I've got a few bits and pieces here. Got some lace and stuff. These dogs, they're so naughty. Alright, let's see. So I grabbed out a few things to try, because I think what I want to do is put something like this on the spine, a piece going that way. Just see if I've got a piece going that way and a piece going that way. I'll have to trim it, it'll be a bit wide. So I think maybe something like that's hanging over a bit too. So about like that on the spine. And then I've got this is vintage stuff that I bought an old sewing box that was full of bits and pieces, and this was in it. So I found some pinkish ribbon, which is a little bit too wide, but I folded it in half and I think it looks okay. And I'm thinking about putting that down the middle, like so. And then I've got a couple of bits of doily that I've cut out, so I think I'm going to put that there. And I've got, where's my other little bit? I should have another little bit of that doily for up in that corner. Not sure what I've done with that. There it is. Piece up there like so. Dropped one of my bits of lace. Can't pick it up with my left hand, it won't pick it up. I'll just spin around, hang on a second. There we go. And I'm thinking I will put that there like so. I've got some little buttons and embellishments and things that I can put on. And then I want to put a little plaque on the back. So I've got this tulle, so I thought I might bunch a bit of that up and put, this is my all-time favourite lace, put a little piece of that on. And then I've got this that I'm going to dangle off once I've done put the signature and I've got the piece hanging over. I'm going to hang that, the centre string, I'm going to hang that. Got some little beads, got some tiny little buttons that I've threaded through some DMC cotton, so I want to put them, I think, down the bottom there. And this has got a little cutout thing in the centre that you can put your own picture. So I've got a little glass dome that sits over the top of it, and then I've just got to put a little picture in. So I've done a few little pictures, watercolour roses. So I've just painted those this morning, done some different colours, I think, just to see which one I would go with. But I think what I'll do is I'll cut one of those out and put it under the glass and put it in there like that, is what I'm thinking. And I've got my little handmade bronze plaque, so I'm going to put that down the bottom there like that. And I think that's everything that I had going on. I did grab this pink butterfly, but I don't really like the pink. I think it's a little bit too lolly pink for what I'm going for. I've done 3 of these little, I pulled out this flower, but I don't think I'll use that. I pulled out this brad, but I don't think I'll use that. And I got these from the op shop the other day, and it's got some nice little crystal bits and pieces on it. So I thought I might pull those apart and hang some of those off the middle section as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave it there so the video is not too long, and I will go away and create all this, put it all together and see how it looks, and then I'll come back, probably not today, probably tomorrow morning, and do a quick video showing you how it turned out. I'll join that on to this video so it'll all be together. Because the sun's going down and I'm going to go and have some lunch as well. Alright, so I hope you guys are doing well, and I will be back soon to show you the end result. Okay, and I'm back, and it's the next day, and I've done all the work that I was going to do on the journal, and I've put one of the signatures together and I've got that to one side, and I've also done a little envelope with a few goodies in it that I wanted to put in but couldn't fit. So as you can see, when I make a journal, I'm all in. Anything and everything goes in. So although it's wide at the moment, like, I am going to tie something around it to, you know, pack it all in nicely. So what I did since yesterday, since I've seen you, is I've done all the front cover there. So I'll just hold that up and hopefully get that in shot there. So I've written with my calligraphy pen some script writing. I've written journal in there. I've put a few little beads and things, embellishments on the front there. So I think she's looking pretty good. I've put my beads on the spine here. So I've made this little dingly dangly there, and I've put my little watercolour painting in the bead there. So I'll just see if I can get that in focus. So that's what that looks like. And if you wanted to, you could actually, off these little loops, you could actually hang a whole heap of little bits and pieces, but I thought for this size journal and what was going on with it, it was busy enough. And these were just some little scraps that I had on my table when I finished, and I like to just pack everything up as much as I can, and they look nice all together in a little pin. So I've just pinned that to the top, so that is removable if it became bothersome. Making sure I'm holding that so you can see it. I'm holding it so I can see it. Not helpful. So that's the back and the front, and then on the back I put the lace, as I did with you guys, and then I've just put that little section there to show that it's handmade. So hopefully that's in focus. So yep, so that's the back and the front. As you can see, there is no way I could have put that fourth signature in, and you can see if I hold it upside down this way, you can see how the signatures lie in there. So the 3 signatures are spaced through there. So yeah, there's absolutely no way it could have taken the 4th signature. Don't know what I was thinking. So yeah, so that's all done. I have left the front there plain because, as I said, I don't want to add any more bulk, but the owner could actually use some of the things in that little envelope that I've provided if she wanted to do some decoration and embellishment there. And I've left that fabric there because I like that, and you could even use that as a little tuck if you wanted to. So yeah, I'll just quickly flip through this. I won't go slowly because it'll just make the video too long. But there's lots of little hidden nooks and crannies and flip outs and bits and pieces. There's some tuck spots, and as I said, lots of little flip outs like that sort of thing. That's what actually makes it bulky. It's not the number of pages, it's because I really like doing these flip outs, and they bulk it up quite a bit. So yeah, but I mean, this is the style of journal that I like. I've actually got some flowers that I had from our previous, I found a flower press that I'd made a long time ago. We used to own a farm, and I had a rose at the farm, and I found the flower press, and I'd put some few flowers in it, so I've tucked that in there. So that's a special one. I've only got a few of those, so that's gone in there. Yeah, so lots of, there's another flip out, little hidey holes and spots. Still plenty of places, I think, for journaling. Lots of bare page. Another little tuck spot there. So yep, little envelope full of goodies there. Some old recipes that I got out of an old recipe book. Lovely lady with her tarot. This is a tarot card. I like to have the tarot cards. Some of them are really beautiful. I don't know if it's a bit sacrilegious to divide a tarot card set, but yeah, I do. And I've got a little hidden pocket in there, and I've got a nice little one of the, well, I've got a little postcard. It's got that sweet little girl on it, the back of it, postcard. And I've also tucked in there one of the tissue paper little mini journals that I like to make with all the scraps. So that's another spot with plenty of journaling space. So yeah, I like these little tuck spots where you can put lots of bits and pieces in them. Well, and therein lies my problem. So that's one signature. There's another spot here. I've got that's a little bookmark. I've got more flip outs. This is a flip out, and it's got a little journaling, some journaling pages, some vintage pages and documents, some beautiful handwritten pages in there. So yeah, another little flip out there with some pretty flowers. And this was a little thing I made a while ago, and I've just glued it on, but that also opens up, so you could actually put some little pages in there if you wanted to, hide them away. And this has got some of my little watercolour painting bits and pieces. This was one that this actually flips out here, so there's some more journaling spots in there. And I'll show you this one up close. I saw a tutorial on how to do these the other day, where you rip out a section of the page and you put a picture at the back of it. And I really liked that idea. I'm actually thinking about using that for my Christmas cards this year. So yeah, just a little feature there. And as you can see, plenty of sewing, plenty of lace. Another little spot for notes and things. I like the lace, and there's a little, look at that little bird sitting there. That's one that I've stamped on there. that pretty page with the beautiful peony flowers. So, yep, another little flip out there with some roses. I've tried to stick with sort of more of the floral theme, so mainly florals. There are a few little birds and things, and I've got some little danglies, and I really like putting the pages all together. So once I've got all my, that's an old book from, a piece of page from an old stamp book, but I liked that because it had the big cat face on it there. And there's another little pocket. So that's a double vellum pocket. So it's got a pocket at the front, and then this is a pocket at the back, and I've made that into a little tuck spot so you can put a few bits, and I've got a bit of old dictionary page and things like that in there. So that just tucks in the back there. And that's another signature there done. And then this signature, I've got a little pocket at the top at the back there, and lots of pockets here with little bits and pieces in it. And I've made a few tags. There's 2 tags in there, and lace, and there's another little tag and a tuck spot. And I ended up putting some bits on the back of that one as well, because you could see it from that side. I wanted it to look nice poking up the top there, so I put a few bits on that side as well. Just some plainer pages. Well, I think plainer, probably not to everybody's standard, but and there's another little tuck spot in there, and that's got a little sheet there for some notes. And then there's a little secret love letter here that I got out of a book. So there's a, that opens right up, and it's a love letter from Sir Richard to Mary Surclock. And so I've stuck that in there. Piece of vintage lace there, more journaling space. Another one of my dried flowers, and that's a little pocket, a little vellum pocket full of goodies. And little pocket there, beautiful roses. I've made a little snippet that I've stuck on the side there. The other side of that vellum page, and I've stamped that with a little bit of a lace edge. Another little pocket there, and I've stuck a pocket on the back of it, so there's a little secret pocket up the top there as well. So that's the back of the pocket, and then that opens up as well. I love doing those little secret flip outs. Sometimes you wouldn't even know that they were there. Made those 2 little pockets, and they've got little bits of goodies in them. More journaling space. This is a vintage book page, but I liked that because it had the little birds on it. Lots of bits and pieces. So fun. I get in such a mess making all this, dragging all my things out. I love this piece of paper. So I got this image off one of my printables, and then I've pulled this out of a book, and I like it. It says, "Where's Meg? Out in the garden as usual. Whatever is she up to? Whoever knows with Meg. At least she's stopped asking for a kitten. Mum and Grandmother were looking at her out the window. She could see them there, so she waved and smiled. She wouldn't have smiled if she'd known what they were saying. She hadn't forgotten about the kitten. Her father had said she could have one, maybe if she told her mother that, but she wasn't sure. Wasn't sure if it were the right thing to say, if it were the right time to say it. Not now that her father didn't live with them anymore." I just love that, because I feel like this picture goes with that little blurb from a book. I can't remember what book I got it out of, but it was one of my books. This is some of my avocado dyed paper. Another little tag there in that little pocket. And that's the back, and I've got a piece of rose serviette tucked in there, and a piece of vintage writing paper. I bought a notepad off eBay of all these beautiful roses. "With warmest thanks and appreciation for your thoughtfulness. So I liked that. I thought I'll stick that in there to go with the whole theme. And that's the back of the book. So that's that. And I won't go through this little one because I kind of showed that to you earlier in the video. So you've seen through that. But this is also quite a little chunky one. But still, this one would be small enough, I think, to put in your handbag if you wanted to take a small journal with you. So okay, I'll be putting that together with that one. So you'll be getting a double whammy, but it's altogether it's pretty significant. So yeah, I get carried away with these things. But thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I will be looking forward to catching up with you all again soon, and I hope that you are all safe, well and happy and busy crafting away in your neck of the woods. Alright, thanks guys. See you soon. Bye.